What is up? Welcome to another exciting week of our Mindset Call. This week, I have a phenomenal topic lined up, and this is one that actually came top of mind for me years ago, but recently it has shown itself in various areas of my life, this weekend specifically. And that is the topic of side effects of change and secondary gains. So first, as we dive into this, let's quantify what the hell is a side effect of change. Now, when we start the endeavor of working on ourselves, working on our health, working on our fitness, we do that because, it's usually, well, I want to lose weight. Great. I want to be fit. Better. I want to be fit for my family. Much better. It is not the specific outcome we're trying to reach. So it's not the, hey, it's 15% body fat or 10% body fat and abs, and it is, being healthy, quote unquote. Those things are great, but what are the side effects of that? What are the side effects of you finally reaching this outcome? What are the side effects of you losing that last 30 pounds? What happens? How does your relationship improve? How do you show up when you're with your kids? How do you view yourself? How do others view you? Does it create more opportunities in your life? Most likely. An unspoken thing is, when we look at someone, we judge them initially based off of how they look. And you can tell a lot by how someone looks. If someone's fit, healthy, energetic, good-looking skin, they probably take care of themselves. It means they have discipline. It means they value themselves. You can start inferring things about their personality type. And like it or not, it's just the truth. It's no different than when you all found your significant others. You didn't immediately run up to them because you said, I bet you have a great personality. No. You were attracted to them. And then when you're attracted to them, it tells you some things about them. It tells you some of their values. Then you talk to them. Then you get to know them, then their personality, all the good stuff. So side effects of change, what I really like to do is when we're making any big shift in our life, any shift in, especially with health, I like to list out the potential side effects of this change. Now, I listed these as mainly through the lens of health and fitness. They expand into every area, though. What are the side effects of change of you focusing on a certain aspect of your business for the next month? What are the side effects of change of you finally hiring a CPA that is working in your best interest and not the interest of the IRS? There are all kinds of side effects of those changes. And there's a massive cascade effect of, probably positive things happening because of that. Now, I frame these in the positive, but there can also be side effects of change that are negative. What will you have to give up? What will you have to stop doing as we make changes? Will our friend circle change? Will what we do for fun change? We're probably not going out to the garage and ripping 40 beers in a weekend anymore. It's probably going to be replaced with something. Probably going to walk our dog more. Probably going to have more sex. Probably going to travel more. You're going to spend more time prepping meals. You're going to spend time logging your food. Those are all things that will change. And that brings me kind of to the subheading here of secondary gains. And secondary gains is a really interesting topic. A lot of times when we start making a change in our life, when we're changing our health, our fitness, our physique, whatever it may be, when we're making that change, we're met with internal resistance. And we're met with the resistance of, I just don't feel like doing it. It's almost like an angry toddler. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. And more often than not, it's because there's something that is benefiting you by staying the way you are. So what do I mean by secondary gain? Well, secondary gain could be as simple as, hey, it's really uncomfortable for me to make change. So the gain for me is I get to feel good about myself as far as I don't have to put in extra effort or look at the facts of the situation if I just kind of stay where I'm at. If I say I want to make change, then I actually have to assess where I'm currently at, deal with the fact that I've made some shit decisions for the last X amount of years, and that it's going to take longer than I want to probably fix this. And that doesn't sound comfortable. So the gain is I get to sit in my comfort. You see this a lot with people that have a victim mindset. People that have long-term illness and have been in the hospital in and out, they have probably gotten sympathy at some point. And what happens is subconsciously they get addicted to that sympathy. They love, like, their kids are visiting them. Everyone's checking in on them. People are bringing them meals, bringing them flowers. Are you okay? Like, take your time. You don't need to come in today. All that good stuff. There's a gain. Like, that's a benefit for them. So they prolong their sickness. There are a multitude of ways that this can manifest itself. Shitty relationships. There's a secondary gain. You're gaining something by staying in it. So what I really like to do, now that we have discussed what a side effect of change is and what a secondary gain is, I want you guys to spend the time, and if you do any of these activities that we've done so far, do this, and especially if you're not getting the results that you want to see right now. This is probably the most important thing that you can do. And anytime we want to make change, we should probably actually do this first. So if you're not getting progress or the progress that you want to see, or you want to happen faster, here's your homework. I want you to list out the side effects of change, of you actually finally doing this fucking thing. Finally losing the weight, finally making the changes to your nutrition, finally getting down to a healthy point in your life, finally having better habits. What other areas of your life will be impacted by that? I look at relationships. How are my relationships impacted? My close family, my wife, my friends. How are those relationships? I look at my work, my career. Do I show up differently? Do I show up better? Do more opportunities happen? I ask financially. What would happen if I had more energy, if I had more opportunity? I would probably make more money. So that's good. My time. Well, we can't create more time, but we can feel like we have more time if we're more effective with the time we have. And if we're showing up as our best self, we're going to be much more productive and effective with the time that we do have. So it will feel like we have more time. Our sense of purpose will probably go up. We're living a life on purpose with purpose. That's exciting. It's not going through the motions. You have a high level of intent. So I like to frame it through those. I call those the 5 freedoms. I have a men's group that I run, and we talk about that a lot. So freedom of purpose, time, money, relationships, health, and how we're doing in those 5 categories. And asking what are the side effects of change that would happen in those areas if I make this change with my health. And then I want you to get very honest with yourself. Ask yourself, why have I not made this change yet? What has kept me here? And it's not I just don't have time, or I just didn't know what I was doing. I just wasn't motivated at the time. No, really sit with it. What are you gaining by staying where you're at? There has to be something. And write out what might be a little bit uncomfortable about changing. Because if we just ignore these things, they're not going to get better in any capacity. Because you'll be met with this resistance and you weren't prepared for it, and you're going to shell up and resort back to your old ways. So what we want to do is say, hey, here's all the good things that are going to happen. Here are the things that might be a challenge, a roadblock, an obstacle that are going to happen. I'm aware of these, so when they come, I expect them. And I can say, you know what? I knew this was going to happen, and I'm going to look at my positive side effects of change, and that's what I'm going to focus on. But if we don't know what those are and we're met with a secondary gain, we're not going to get the change. We're not going to get the outcome. We're going to be spinning our wheels, guys. So I want you to list out all of these side effects of change and do that through freedom of time, purpose, money, health, relationships. Okay? And then I want you to do a category of secondary gains. What might be uncomfortable about changing? What's perceived difficulty with changing? What are you gaining by staying where you're currently at? What's easy about that for you? I want you to write that out. If I had to guess, the positive side effects of change, the excitement you get when you read that list versus the excitement, if any, when you see the secondary gains, you're going to have an aha moment of, holy shit, I have been choosing something that I don't even want over this amazing outcome that I do. This is an exercise I really recommend actually if you have a team that you work with, you do with your teams as well. If you have a sales team, if you have a service team, this is a phenomenal exercise to do with them. That is what I got for you guys. If you have any questions or need any additional support, as always, reach out. If you're not happy with the progress that you have made thus far, figure out what the side effects of change for you are. Figure out what the secondary gains for you are. Then take action. And remember, this is not a 12-week, we're going to totally reverse the last 30 years of fucking damage to our bodies. No. But what this does do is put us in a frame of mind and change a little bit of our personal identity where we can actually start making those changes. Identity shift happens before we start getting any of the physical outcomes we want. So if you're saying, hey, I don't think I'm getting the physical outcome I want, cool. What have you changed about how you view yourself? What have you changed about how you show up? That is what I got for you guys. I will see you next week. As always, let's all win. Peace.